Back now on the town hall, and after 2 weeks and almost 40 witnesses on the stand, the prosecution rested its case this morning in the Derek Chauvin trial in Minneapolis. Their case has been spent working to prove to the jury that George Floyd died from a lack of oxygen caused by Chauvin's knee on his neck.
Now it is the defense turn to present a case, and the questioning really is focusing on arguing that point, saying that there is reasonable doubt that Floyd's drug use and other health conditions may have been at least partially to blame for why he died.
And as we end near the end of testimony in the trial, the Verify team is seeing questions online about the other officers involved in that scene.
Yeah, and just before we get to that real fast, because we told you we were going to have this conversation and talk to one of our legal experts, John Elmore, who we apologize that we've wasted his time for the second day in a row. We're just having technical difficulties in being able to connect live with him. But we really want to have this discussion about this trial. We know it's so important. We're now wrapping up, probably a week left in this, and then we'll get a conclusion. But our Verify team is really keeping a very close eye on this, and Gabe Cohen lays out the charges that are against this defendant.
As the world watches Derek Chauvin's trial, we're seeing tweets about the other officers who were at the scene when George Floyd died. One says, if Derek Chauvin is found guilty, shouldn't the other officers involved be brought to trial as well? So let's verify. Are other officers facing charges for George Floyd's death? Our sources, court footage and records, and 2 legal experts. Court records show Derek Chauvin isn't the only former Minneapolis police officer now charged in Floyd's death. Tu Tao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander King each face 2 charges, aiding and abetting second-degree murder and aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. The state is trying to add a third-degree murder charge as well. There's a hearing scheduled next month. Video shows Tao monitoring the crowd of onlookers while Lane and King helped Chauvin pin Floyd in the prone position, even though prosecutors say they were trained that it was inherently dangerous. The 3 are set to be tried together in August. Initially, they were going to stand trial with Chauvin, but in January, Judge Cahill separated Chauvin's trial, citing COVID safety and a lack of space in the courtroom.
How could the result of Chauvin's trial impact theirs?
Legally and practically, I'll give 2 slightly different answers.
That's law professor Rachel Moran.
The state can still go forward and charge people for aiding and abetting, even if Derek Chauvin were acquitted of those exact same charges.
A spokesperson for Minnesota's Attorney General's office confirms if Chauvin is acquitted, the charges against the others do not automatically drop. I asked if the state would still choose to charge them. They wouldn't say.
Practically speaking, I don't know that they would.
The 3 men face the same recommended sentence as Chauvin, 12.5 years in prison for the murder charge and 4 for manslaughter.
The sentencing guidelines in Minnesota don't make any difference between sentencing possibilities for being the principal or for being what we call the accomplice, the person who aids and abets.
Chauvin's attorney made it clear the other officers won't testify in his trial.
I confirmed with each of the attorneys last night that they are not permitting their clients to testify.
They have a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination.
That's law professor Kimberly Whaley.
And they couldn't be forced to testify by the state.
They can't be forced to testify unless the government were to grant them immunity.
So we can verify 3 other former Minneapolis police officers are now facing charges in George Floyd's death, and they're scheduled to go to trial in August. With your Verify, I'm Gabe Cohen.
All right, more to come on this conversation, of course, and you can always reach out if there's something you would like verified as well.
Yeah, there's our text 2 number right there at the bottom. And stay with us, everybody, because Channel 2 News at 6 starts now.